like sit back in our chairs. It looks like it might be better. Would you talk?
Boob.
That's not really helpful.
I don't even... What the fuck is happening today? Okay.
Everything.
Right.
Wait. Okay, so then guess what? I'm moving this closer. Because I'm not going to be able to fucking see otherwise.
These booby pads are just all over the place. I don't even know what's happening.
All right, let's play this. Okay. So if we sit back further... Definitely sounds better. Like, sit back in our chairs. It looks like it might be better. Would you talk? That's not really helpful. I don't even...
I'm a little
Why
far.
do you sound so far away?
Okay.
Everything. Right. Okay, so then guess what?
Hold on.
This closer.
That's why.
So I'm not going to be able to fucking see otherwise.
Booby pads are just... I hate it. Everywhere.
That's weird as a nose. We didn't even fucking... Did you drink?
No.
Fuck. All right,
we're good.
Put the condom back on the microphone, please.
All right,
let's try this again. Close you fucking cunt bitch. Fucker.
It's like 2 hours to just set this up today.
That looks better, I think.
Yeah. And no, mine's so small again. That's what she said.
Let's try again. Fuck off, assholes.
It's like 2 hours to just... Oh, yes!
That looks better, I think.
Yeah. And no, mine's so small again. That's what she said. Look at me pee.
Let's try. Oh my
okay,
God.
can we start? Fuck. Okay.
Can we star fuck? I don't know. Can we? I've never fucked a star before. Fuck me, goddamn.
It's over.
Yep, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, just go downstairs. Let's just drink the gin.
Okay. I think that's a fantastic idea.
All right. Are we ready? Oh, no, your notes!
At least I have them.
These are...
No, that's a printout. Far different than notes. Okay. Fucking cunts.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
Oh my God.
Am I recording? No. Let's do that first. All right, now we're fucking recording. I quit.
Me too.
We love you all, but fuck off. We're out.
Oh my God.
We should, you know, have you figured out how to like cut this thing?
No.
We need to figure that out because we can have bloopers.
The
Like,
whole damn thing is a blooper. Oh,
well,
Lord.
the beginning of this one could definitely be a blooper.
Yeah.
We gotta figure that out. Okay, anyway. Moving right along.
Welcome to Grave Crimes Podcast and
The latest installment.
YouTube
cast.
YouTube boobcast cast.
Tickle, tickle. I'm Cynthia.
I'm Heather. Help.
No, I feel like so there's a couple of things I've noticed that we repeat over and over again in different episodes.
Oh, are you?
One is that we haven't been drinking yet.
Right. We haven't.
And two is that I can't ever talk correctly.
I can't either.
No, I really have a problem. Well, whatever. Anyway, moving right along. So today's episode is about the Shanghai tunnels.
In Portland, Oregon.
Oregon. That sounds like throw up or something. So we decided that, I think this drink that we decided to do, which is the Negroni, I believe it's actually considered like the official drink of Portland or Oregon.
Oh, very nice.
One of those. And I had found one that had both sweet and dry vermouth. But I didn't have both of those things, so you get what you get and you don't get upset.
That's right. That's what I tell the kiddies at school.
So this beautiful drink here. See?
It's pink.
It's pretty.
It's like red pink.
It's pretty. And it's gin and Campari and vermouth. You can do sweet or dry. Either one doesn't matter.
We did dry.
And
right?
yeah.
That's what we just said.
And you can do both. Like there's one that actually has both in it.
Oh, wow.
So, are we gonna try this bitch?
Yes.
Cheers to big ears.
You're right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's yummy.
That's very bitter.
That's good.
I'm just gonna suck the orange peel.
Chew on it. You can just put
Maybe
it
if I put it in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit bitter for me.
Our next drink is gonna have to be something sweet for you because you like
For the love
sweet.
of God, please.
Yeah, you like sweet.
I do. And it's not that I don't.
We'll
Remember
just throw it to caution to the wind and just do like a pina colada.
Hopefully you don't vomit.
Yeah, I can't do too sweet.
Well, listen. You drank my drink the one time, so we could have done the Kahlua one, and then you could have fucked it off to me, and I would have drank it.
Yeah.
But remember, you said the one with the coffee had like an aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
This to me has an aftertaste.
Well, I think if that's the Negroni.
The Negroni. The whole thing is a Negroni.
Negroni.
The Campari.
Campari.
Yeah, that's
that. If
I feel like I could have done a little less than that.
Yeah. Yes, because it is being balanced. Because if it was just a Campari, like if there's too much Campari, then I'd be like, but
it tastes good, but then there's something that's happening in my mouth, not like that. That's just, I don't know. It's just, I feel like I ate a pencil. It's got a weird flavor.
So we're both delirious because it took like an hour to set up. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And there's like some weirdness happening with my crawl space all of a sudden.
See the one microphone?
Yeah, the one microphone. Don't.
Because we couldn't get the two to work, so now we're just using one. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's less shit in our faces. Eileen, let me know what you think about this, because I know you mentioned the
picture?
No.
Oh.
The microphone was in my face in one episode, so now we've gone down to one. This may be our new way
And
to
I
do
did
this.
change the pictures.
Yes.
Guys, please take them.
She wants to get rid of them.
Help.
Oh,
And I just keep
Jesus.
painting, so there's just, if you could see this side right now,
No, you don't want to see that side.
paints,
I'm trapped.
canvas everywhere.
I'm trapped. I cannot exit to my right. There is no exit stage right in this room at this moment. If there's a fire and Heather wants to kill me, she'll just stay where she is. Well, then you'd die too, but that wouldn't work out very well, would it?
Yes, murder-suicide.
Yep. Anyway,
we should probably get into it.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a website now. I'll just say that at the top.
Yes.
It's gravecrimes.com.
Yeah, I was putting in gravecrimespodcast.com.
Even though I sent you the link.
Yeah, well, then when I later went back to look for it, I
probably should have done Grave Crimes Podcast.
we could do both.
Yeah, I could probably add that.
There's got to be a way to, like,
I could
mimic.
probably do that, yeah.
Or I know you can have it where it links, like,
Yeah.
if you have one, it links to the other. You guys don't really give a shit about this.
No.
As you can see, I didn't care to do my hair today, so I got my little pigtails.
And I don't really have an option. My hair is out of control for 99% of the
You're
time
out
now.
of control.
That is true.
Yes. I gotta remember that I gotta sit back for the microphone purposes.
See.
So, Anyway, moving on. So, the Shanghai tunnels are also known as the Old Portland Underground, which I always thought was kind of interesting because it wasn't like a subway. And I hear underground and I think subway.
Right. I mean, well, there were, like, any time, like, tunnel systems. I mean,
They're underground.
they're underground, they're everywhere, they're in a lot of cities, but they're more for, like, transport and the movement of...
But it just, to me, in my head, I think underground. I'm thinking subway. We had that conversation last week.
Yes. Well, so the term Shanghai is a place, but in this case, it's not a place. It's it's actually I guess a verb.
Yes.
The term to Shanghai.
To coerce or trick someone into a place or position or into doing something.
Yes.
But it actually had a secondary definition
Oh.
that relates to this specifically.
Oh.
Yes. So today, that's the meaning. But historically, the meaning was to force someone to join a ship lacking a full crew by drugging them or using other underhanded means.
Yeah. That's the meaning today.
Well, no, not so much. It's
that's what
technically
we're
still true.
talking
the meaning,
about.
right? That
Yeah.
is the meaning for today's purposes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But actually, today, when you say, "Oh, I'm gonna like Shanghai that person" or whatever,
Yeah.
it's actually apparently offensive.
Yes, it is.
Everything's offensive now.
Well, it's like also the term Chinese auction is offensive.
Yeah. Huh?
Google it, you'll understand why. I mean, it makes sense. They used to be called penny auctions. And then because of I think it had something to do with the cheap Chinese labor
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that they were paying them such little money, it would be like that's all they could afford, so they called them Chinese auctions. So yeah, like certain things have roots in really shitty places.
They do, but it's also history.
It is.
You
should learn from it though.
Absolutely.
And maybe not continue to do
well,
some
that's
shitty
the
things
point
that
of
we do.
history, yes. That is the point.
Yeah, so knowing it and then continuing it,
Yes.
not really the point. Knowing it and stopping doing something, well, that's bad, obviously. Anyway, moving on, that's a whole other podcast that we're not doing here. Here, we're doing history, crime, and paranormal shit. Woo! Anyway. We almost had our own ghost for the show.
Yeah.
Pseudo ghost.
I don't know what the heck.
That
was one of the weird things.
Crawl space door that scared the shit out of me because I didn't know it was there and I heard things moving. And I'm like, oh, I must have bumped the door. And then she's like, no, it's the door. And I'm like, what door? What the fuck are you talking? Yeah, it's the wind. Whatever. We fixed it. No more ghost in the room. Anyway, so apparently it was mainly under Old Town Chinatown in Portland, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And it connected to the main business section.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it connected the basements of hotels and taverns to the Willamette River. Am I saying that right? Because it's not Willamette. It's Willamette. So it's got to be
Yeah,
Willamette.
I believe so.
Right?
Yeah, it's a big trading river.
Something like that. But its original purpose was to move goods from ships to the basement storage of the different hotels and bars and things like that to avoid creating more traffic on the surface streets because they had, the trolley cars and all that kind of crap going on. And, now if you have trucks delivering things, now that's more traffic on the streets. So, I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Do you want to keep going? You want to take over the wordage?
The wordage? Well, no, because I kind of got lost in my note here.
So, I had also, I don't know if you had seen this, that apparently the other term for Shanghaiing was crimping.
Yes.
Do you like how I sneakily gave you my drink?
Huh.
I can't do it.
My notes got all discombobulated.
Is boob the word of the day today?
It must be. I'm drawing a lot of nude paintings lately, so yes, it must.
So they would kidnap men on their own.
Yes, and this didn't just happen actually in I was saying Portland, Oregon. It happened in a lot of like San Francisco. It actually happened in New
Major
York.
port cities.
Yeah. It, basically a sailor or not a sailor, anyone would go to a bar. They would either get like a spiked drink, or they would be drugged, or they would get drunk. And people that would be on the take, whether it be the bartender, the barmaid, or someone in, would drug them. And next thing they knew, they would be waking up on a ship.
Yeah. As
cheap deck labor.
Yeah. And basically they had no choice. It was either work or die. Because they would feed you, right? The other thing that I read was apparently when they couldn't find a man to drug and fuck off with, they would instead abduct women.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that must have been awful because I could only imagine the stuff they went through.
Oh, yeah. So, and just to backtrack, it wasn't just like they drugged these people and they carried them through the streets. The bars and hotels and all these different places actually had trapdoors somewhere in the bar. So what they would do is basically like throw them down this trapdoor, and then somebody would be down there and fuck off with them down to the river. That's a very delicate way of doing whatever it is that you're doing. Just randomly.
I don't need those right now.
Yeah, so apparently they would, if they couldn't find any men that were alone and they could easily kidnap, they would instead take women and sell them into prostitution rings, and they would be kept in cages in these underground tunnels until they were able to be sold off into these prostitution rings. But they were sold like outside of Portland because obviously they would be recognizable, right?
Right, and they knew their way around.
Right.
They escaped. And...
So the men were on a ship.
Yeah.
They were already screwed. The women, though, they would ship them off to other states, countries, what have you, and there's that. And apparently, there were also a lot of different gangs in that particular area.
Yes.
And they speculate that they also had used the tunnels to sneak in immigrants as well as goods that were not legal and drugs. So it was a very easy way to escape police. What's the word?
Police. Escape the police.
Yeah, like to being seen. That's the word I was trying to sort out. That wasn't really the word. Anyway, so they also used them during Prohibition.
I was gonna like those tunnels came in handy.
Yeah,
big time during Prohibition.
Yeah, and the fact that they had all these trap doors.
Yeah.
They were able to just if they knew that the police were coming, just basically take their liquor and put it down in these tunnels.
And now they have a lot of speakeasies there, like now at Frito for I guess just nostalgia's sake, even though it's legal.
Yes. But, well, there's one here. There's a couple here.
There are a couple here.
They're fun.
And I went to a nice one in Colorado also.
They are fun.
Yeah.
Because apparently the police obviously routinely raided the bars during Prohibition, and so they would stash their alcohol in the tunnels, and I forgot what the rest of what I was going to say was. Yeah, I'm losing my mind now too. And the criminals would also use them, if they were hanging out in the bars, and much like you said, they all kind of knew each other and whatever. So if they knew that somebody was wanted, they just let them fuck off down the tunnel, and then literally when the cops left, they would just come back out and sit back at the bar and have another drink.
Yeah.
So the cops did know about it, to be fair. They were aware of these tunnels.
Oh, yeah.
But because of how expensive they were, the police may go down there, but they weren't ever really going to find somebody because it was just...
It was like the police...
Yeah,
the police ruled, the upper streets and the criminals ruled the underground.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the gangs at the time, they would actually, if they had rivalries and whatever, they would bring the rival gang member down into the tunnel, beat the crap out of them, starve them, and then they would just maybe leave them for dead, and maybe they'd escape, maybe they wouldn't.
Right.
And they would use it, the gang members would use it as a hideout, so it had a lot of different purposes. Apparently, the gangs would use it for punishment of members of their own gang.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they had talked to the cops or done something that they thought maybe deserved punishment, they would actually leave them down there with no light, and they would maybe come back and get him, or maybe they wouldn't. So clearly there was a lot going on in these tunnels, and like we were talking about earlier, what I found interesting was the fact that they're saying that there's no real evidence that the tunnels were used in this manner. However, they did, every picture I saw, they had piles of shoes. So clearly people were down there.
Right.
And I imagine that if you were using the tunnels just for deliveries, they would generally not be leaving their shoes behind.
Right, but you do take someone's shoes if you don't want them to run.
Exactly. And it didn't look like women's shoes. I would understand, okay, so they know it was used for the prostitution part of it, right? But they weren't women's shoes. They were definitely men's. So, again, clearly there had to be something going on, but it could have been the gangs. It could have been the Prohibition issue. It could have been any number of different things.
They're saying the Shanghaiing really didn't happen. But it's interesting because they actually passed a law to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
So if it's not happening, why go through all this this trouble to pass a law to stop it from happening?
And that's the thing. I don't know if they're saying it didn't happen at all, or if they're just saying there's no evidence that these tunnels were used for that purpose. However, like we said before, you have people walking back and forth, going in with goods and whatever. Mm-hmm. Do you know the footprints of a Shanghai person versus a non-Shanghai person? The tunnels are being used.
Right.
It would be different if nobody knew about the tunnels, and then they discovered them later. So I'd be willing to bet that there's a very good chance that that's exactly what they were used for. And what's interesting too is they're saying that they don't know for sure that it was, but then I also found information that says an estimated 2,000 people a year were shanghaied through Portland's underground tunnels. Make up your mind. Interestingly, there are some stories, which this gets a little. I feel like I'm reading the Donner crap again. There's apparently stories that some of these people, they were essentially like slaves, right? Because they were on the ship without wanting to be. But apparently some of them were eaten by starving crew members. I mean, ew. You're in a port. You were just in a port. Why are you that hungry?
Why are you so hungry?
Like, I don't get it.
Well, I mean, if they had no money.
And the ship,
I mean,
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just...
And also, if you're starving, you're probably not thinking. I mean,
I suppose. But yeah, so I even wrote, like, the constant use of the tunnels would not have lent itself to evidence of Shanghaiing, right? Because clearly there were people down there. There's also the rumors, and who knows, it probably is true, of the fact that they may have used those passages to visit underground brothels, opium dens, and gambling houses.
Yeah, opium was huge on the West Coast because of its proximity to China.
Yeah. And of course, again, as temporary prisons for whoever they kidnapped. And it may not have necessarily been people that they kidnapped for the purposes of bringing them to a ship or for prostitution, but just in general.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's also regular crime.
Yes.
As of today, there are tours that you can go down there. Yeah. But apparently a lot of the tunnels have collapsed, which is quite unfortunate. Or they're inaccessible. Like they've actually, I guess, closed them off for safety purposes.
Oh yeah, because people, I'm sure, would just go live down there.
Yeah. Well, you've heard of the mole people in Manhattan, right?
Yes.
If you've never read about those are really interesting stories. But yeah, so today they're basically using them for storage, obviously as a tourist attraction for those people that are visiting. And you can still see some of the trapdoors that the people were dropped down into the tunnels through.
For no apparent reason, because they weren't being Shanghai.
Right.
They were just fun trapdoors. Keeping on your toes at the bar.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, if you were delivering things from the shore to the basement, which I would imagine would have some access with stairs, right? Because I don't imagine you would be carrying like large amounts of
stairs or at least a ramp or something.
Right. And if it's going to the basement, then the basement is likely already underground. Why do you need the trapdoor?
Right.
Maybe we just need to go there and see it for ourselves to understand better.
Yeah. Road trip.
That's the other thing we say a lot, is that we're going to a lot of places. We haven't been to any of them, have we? We haven't even been to the country I was in, and we could drive there in like 10 minutes.
Well, we did go to Gettysburg.
Yeah, that was before this. Not since the episode. Just saying.
Tis true.
We'll have to take like a month off from recording just so we can go visit places.
And work. Which...
Or we could take like a long weekend and visit one of these places like Gettysburg or whatever, and we could record our episode from there.
Yes, we could, actually.
And that would be reasonably cost efficient.
Yeah.
We could do that.
We could do
We could do an episode in the Farnsworth.
Yes.
That was not the enthusiasm I was looking for.
Well, because I was just thinking, I was like, well, should we, because we could stay over, but you had already stayed over there.
Saying.
Yeah.
We could do like an overnight recording.
Mm-hmm.
We could do a live YouTube. Couldn't we?
I mean...
I'm looking at you like, and by you I mean you people out on the camera.
I have no idea.
I can't speak.
Who people? Yeah, I have no idea.
Mm.
We did you come to the Atlantic Avenue Tunnel?
Yes.
Yes. I don't even know who's there, except I know I brought my niece and my nephew, and I remember it being very dark. And then we got cheesecake.
Yes.
That's really all.
I think Steve actually worked on that one because being that he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's really all I
sure
remember.
He did something to help that one move forward. Or it might have been somebody else. Fuck if I know. I can't remember what I did yesterday. Moving on to the haunting. So I did find a little bit.
I know they have filmed like shows there that caught evidence apparently.
Yes. So obviously, as there always is, that feeling of being watched. Now, I will preface all of this by saying that you are in a dirt tunnel.
Right.
Right? So there are certain things that need to be taken into account. right? Feeling cold air generally is not that, along with something else, fine.
I mean, it's already like a sea town, so it's going to be damp.
You're going to be cold, and you're underground.
Yeah.
So if there's old tunnels and there's just air coming through all these different areas, and it's not like it's a sealed room.
Right.
So, just feeling like that random gust of cold air.
And I don't know where a lot of these investigations were, but I know that if for some reason there's any electric that's exposed, especially if it's old, if anyone knows anything about EMF spikes or anything, that could actually make you nauseous. It could make you paranoid, make you feel like you're being watched. That's why a lot of people that do the investigating have the EMF. And actually the old alarm clocks, the little box alarm clocks that you used to have, were notorious for giving that feeling. That's why a lot of people be like, oh, and when I'm sleeping, when I'm in my bed, I feel like I'm being watched. Well, you have this alarm clock that's giving off
and they
ridiculous.
feel tingly. Like, you can actually feel, like, your skin can feel, like, tingly or itchy.
And this is scientifically proven. Like, there's been things written on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
However, and this is what makes it difficult, it's also that kind of thing that the theory is that spirit can draw from these things because there is higher EMF. So they're able to draw from that to manifest, whether it's, hearing a voice or seeing something or moving something. So again, it becomes one of those situations of, it's not that I don't believe, it's that, one, I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I'd have to I would, I'd have to see it to kind of experience it for myself and be able to say, okay, this happened, but I discovered the source of it. This happened, and I have no fucking idea how. Right?
Yeah.
If it's repeatable, then it kind of ends up, we have to rule it out.
Yeah.
So, obviously there were the feeling of being watched. So we had that one. This one was kind of interesting and cute in a way. There are reports of an Asian man walking past people in the tunnels, and tunnel regulars actually nicknamed him Sam. So he has a name. And Sam has been, I don't want to say accused, they're saying he regularly turns off the bar basement lights when people are down there. So he's clearly a trickster. He moves things in the tunnels as people walk by. And apparently one of the guides on the tour happened to hear the name Sam being called out repeatedly. There's moving shadows, and I'm going to come back to that one. One person did actually say, and this is the kind of thing where I'm saying, like, I can lend a little bit more credibility, I guess, or credence or whatever to it. Somebody that was on tour felt a hand on their shoulder, and when they turned around, there was nobody behind them. That is less likely to be something caused by your environs, right? So if we talk about shadows, that you're in a tunnel,
right,
where the lighting isn't going to be that great. And if you have lanterns or flashlights, and like if somebody's like moving their flashlight around like a lunatic, it's going to create shadows, and those shadows are going to look like they're moving. Not to say that it didn't happen, because I don't know the circumstances surrounding it, but that's one of the reports. So Sam apparently liked to pull at people's shirts and hair. So one guest said she felt a tug on her shirt before she tripped.
Oh.
So that's not very nice.
Oh, maybe she's just a klutz. Maybe it tried to like...
Maybe tried to...
Yeah, don't
stop
walk there.
Her from tripping.
Don't walk there.
Another man reported hearing a childlike whistling before he was thrown to the ground by something unseen. Again, and like this is where I want to believe that one, because I think it's cool to hear things like with the naked ear.
Yeah.
But again, you're in tunnels.
Yeah, and also how do you know
traveling.
it's a child whistling?
I guess maybe I don't know. I'm demonstrating like
that was like that Mickey cartoon that was like.
Oh Lord.
Steamboat Mickey.
Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah. Yep. That's gonna be really loud on the audio because I literally heard it from the headphones underneath the desk. I'm just gonna apologize now to everyone.
Wonderful.
So, but anyway, so the guy hears this whistling, and he's thrown down, and then when he stands up, he uses his flashlight to look around and said that he didn't see anyone. Now, the tripping or the falling down then can't really be explained. The whistling.
I mean, you are in a tunnel.
Right.
The whistling, I mean, sound carries, especially in like a tunnel environment.
I mean, we're inside your upstairs room.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are out in the street, we've picked them up on our audio.
Yeah.
So clearly sound travels, and depending on the weather and depending on what's around you and
not to say that, and maybe this is all true. Maybe it all happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe
I'd like to think it does.
Yeah, but we have to like offer an alternative explanation because that's just what we do.
See, our problem is that when I watch shows, I want to believe everything I'm seeing is real, but what I want and what I truly believe are two very different things. You know, like I want these things to be absolutely positively true. And I don't discount anyone's experience because I do believe that people have experiences, and who am I to say, no, you didn't?
Right.
But at the same time, like I like to look at it from a scientific standpoint and say, okay, that this is what happened. Let's make sure it wasn't something non-paranormal. Because then your experience is even that much more credible. Like if you have an experience and you say you heard whistling or something like pulled on you or whatever, and you can go back and say there was like nothing that the shirt got stuck on, there was nobody around, like you checked all of the tunnels in the general vicinity. Like if you can say that you did all of that and you still don't know why or how it happened, thumbs up. So this one wasn't so much in the tunnel, but it was at the, well, now it's pizzeria. So there was the Merchant Hotel,
Okay.
which apparently has trapdoors in it, or a trapdoor, and like the tunnels go underneath there.
Okay.
And given the whole prostitution thing, that's why I felt like this was kind of relevant to the conversation. So Merchant Hotel, now there's in its lobby Old Town Pizza, and like I said, it has access to the tunnels, and apparently there's a spirit there. Now I thought her name was Nina because it's spelled Nina, but apparently they pronounce it Nina. I thought that was kind of interesting
Nina.
too.
Okay.
Nina, which I kind of like. But apparently, I guess they have some confirmation that she was actually a prostitute at that hotel.
Okay.
So clearly, I'm thinking she wasn't shanghaied into prostitution. I'm thinking she was it just so happened to be her profession at the time.
Right.
Because
now
they said they sent them out and like.
Yeah, but now she went from, I guess, working for herself.
Yes.
Having to give someone a cut. You
Right.
know?
Exactly. But they did say, so it says she was sold, pardon me, into the profession against her will. But again, not that she was necessarily like drugged and taken away. But people in the pizzeria have actually, they detected the scent of perfume when like just out of nowhere. They saw a woman in a black dress that was watching people eating at the pizzeria. And apparently she also does wander the basement. So she could have been, you know, it's possible she could have been shanghaied from somewhere else.
Maybe.
She could have originally been from New York.
Yeah.
Or San Francisco, you know. Because back then it wasn't like, I'm out of here jumping on a plane going home.
Yeah.
You know, you came from New York to Portland. You were really far from home.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not falling asleep on me over there, are you?
No, I'm looking. It's really hot in here. I'm like dying.
See, I think we're screwed when it comes to the summer because, yeah.
I mean, there's an air conditioner, but it's going to pick it up.
Yep. And then it'll just be the entire time. Well, that's going to be really loud. Now what? We need to talk about this more. Because we've only got 30 minutes of material here.
I mean, it could be short.
It could be.
It could be short and sweet.
Short and sweet one.
Dude.
I mean, and what's crazy is that there is no evidence. Like there's I don't know.
I don't think there would be though. If people were being taken, it was I think like a quick transaction, like trapdoor or drugged, and they would just
throw you in there.
Yeah, either except for I guess the prostitutes who were probably sold. They were just taken, thrown on a ship, and
the cells are still there. And that's what kind
That's fucking evidence. What are they saying? There's no evidence. What is it? People just have cells in random spots. You go to CVS and there's a fucking cell in aisle 5. No evidence.
I mean, right? Like that's the thing. It's I have to wonder, like, why don't they want to just admit that this happened? It's not like it happened yesterday.
America doesn't like admitting things.
No.
So
I mean, that is true. That is very,
You've
very
seen
true.
nothing. Nothing has happened here.
No, we did talk about what we were going to do on our next episode, didn't we?
Yeah, Roanoke.
Yes. Which was also, did you start watching American Horror Story all of a sudden?
No.
Really?
Really?
Because that's an episode.
Oh, no, I only
I mean,
watched
an episode
Coven.
was a season.
Oh, I only watched Coven.
It wasn't one of my favorite seasons, but it was a season. And when you sent me that, I'm sitting there going, what is going on with our life?
Oh, no.
She picks Madame Lalaurie, which was featured.
That's right. Oh, my God.
That's why I asked that question.
Oh,
because
my
I'm sitting there
God.
going, Roanoke, why are we doing Roanoke? Is it because you watched American Horror Story?
That's so... No. That's strange.
Mm-hmm. I was very surprised.
Weird.
Yes. So, yeah, we have a website now. And we do have a comment. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. I did ask. Ask and you shall receive, I suppose. We'd like some more comments and subscribing and
Yes, subscribe.
emailing.
Because I know people are watching. Because it says it.
Yes.
So subscribe.
Well, we know people are listening too.
Yes.
And we love suggestions. So, see, it's super easy now. You don't even have to go into your email and type gravecrimespodcast@gmail.com. If you're watching the fucking video, you can just go on there and type a comment that says, I want to hear about this.
Or if you've been to one
I'm
of
not
the
angry, I
places
swear. I'm not angry at you. Just
She's
very
just
emphatic.
angry. No, you're not. I'm dying.
Do you want me to strip?
No. Oh.
I mean, I'm wearing a tank top. I could, but nobody wants to see my flabby arms.
So even if you've been to one of the places that we've spoken about and you've had an experience or you have an opinion on it, email, comment, something.
What's I'm saying? Comments are easier, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, you don't have to actually like go into your email and then, type the email address in and remember what the hell it is. Just go on the video and type a comment.
Yeah.
That it does not say comment this time. Maybe you could leave us another comment. Maybe if he comments more often, it'll help. I don't know. How do these algorithms work?
You're asking the wrong person.
This is true. So today what we're going to do is go over all of the Google Analytics. Fun times. It's going to be exciting. Yay. All right, so next time we'll do Roanoke. Maybe you should watch American Horror Story Roanoke between now and then.
Because it's not historically accurate.
No, but it'll give us something interesting to talk about in addition.
I'm still watching Blacklist.
That's like 4,000 years old.
Do you know it's still on?
Is it like new episodes?
Yes.
Holy shit. All right,
So it
then.
might be 4,000 years old, but it's still going.
Anyway, all right. So I guess this will be a short one this time.
Yeah.
I hope we didn't disappoint you all. I'm gonna go have some more chips and salsa.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Plan.
All right, everybody. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, night, whatever it is that you're doing. Hopefully, you'll have a good week. Today's Monday, so you're probably gonna upload this like ASAP.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's not the best day. Should have done it over the weekend, but
We should have.
things happened.
Yes, they did.
So, nothing bad. Just
Thanks.
preoccupied with other things that needed to be dealt with. So, all right, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Say bye, Heather.
Bye. Oh. They won't stop.